Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So we finally got some footage of the Hulk from the set of Thor Ragnarok. If you didn't know he was in the movie before, you definitely know now. So I'm going to play these clips and then we'll talk about the footage, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Gray Cerebral Hulk.
Hello all, it's your humble servant Mark Ruffalo, waiting to shoot some Hulk scenes in my legendary man-canceling suit. It's glamorous, but someone has to do it.
Your humble servant, happy to smash all of Asgard. We don't know if it's going to be taking place on multiple planets. There have been a lot of rumors about that. But Hulk on Asgard, how the hell does he get there? And what's going to be his arc in this film other than to just squash Loki for the second time? Just cannot wait for that reunion. It's going to be so much fun. So the biggest rumor is that we're going to get like a cerebral version of Hulk, which is basically like Gray Hulk. You have Savage Hulk, which is like bigger, stronger. He basically gets bigger faster as he gets madder. When there was the big color derp with the Hulk initially, what they ended up doing is they ended up writing in some backstory to make Gray Hulk make sense. So the logic is that Gray Hulk has all the same powers of normal green Savage Hulk, so he's able to retain more of his Banner persona, more of his intelligence. So under normal circumstances, what you've seen in Avengers, all the other films that he's been in, is that the minute he changes, he becomes the Hulk, you can barely get through to him. Like even Black Widow's magic vagina lullaby is barely able to calm him down. That can be a lot of fun because you go from zero to code green Hulkbuster bro fist moments, but you also don't get the chance to see him as Banner with the powers of the Hulk. And there have been a lot of different incarnations of the Hulk with various states of intelligence, like a Hulk that can talk as Banner and reason as Banner while he's hulked out, which is basically what you want. Somebody who could take on Thanos and live to tell the tale, but also has Banner's genius-level scientist mind. So you've probably heard in Avengers Age of Ultron how Joss Whedon cut one big Hulk thing out and was like, I told them that they could use this in a future movie, and it was basically the Gray Hulk. But behind the scenes, in reality, that wasn't exactly what he was going for. What Joss Whedon wanted to do in that film was show the Hulk's version of the Hulk. Like, what happens if the Hulk were to Hulk out? Which they actually did during the Avengers vs. X-Men Axis storyline. The Hulk's version of the Hulk is called Kla, like the name is just reversed. Haha, very funny. But he looks a little bit different. So even though I don't think they're going to do that exact thing, I think what we'll see is a more cerebral version of Hulk, which isn't exactly what Joss Whedon was talking about, but it's basically Gray Hulk. So even if they get really cerebral with Hulk in the movie, which sounds like they will, Banner will come to terms with the green guy, they'll come to an arrangement. It won't be so much Banner versus the green guy, because that's typically what it is in the past. He's afraid of the green guy, but then we actually learn, and Mark Ruffalo has talked about this a little bit, that the green guy is just as afraid of Banner as Banner is of the green guy. So they'll get into a little bit of that, but you have to remember that there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in this movie, so it's not going to be a Hulk movie, but they're basically wedging a Planet Hulk type storyline in, where he basically just goes gladiator all over everyone. And if you're wondering why Hulk and Thor were not in Captain America Civil War, it's because the Russos said they wanted it to feel like people could die, and it's so hard to kill Thor and the Hulk, it's almost impossible to kill the Hulk, that it just wouldn't have felt real. It would have been gods versus men, and they really wanted men versus men. So you could take Iron Man out of his suit and kill him, you could kill Captain America, you could kill Bucky, they wanted it to feel a little more equal. Vision and Scarlet Witch are kind of pushing it, but you can understand how she got tied up in the MacGuffin, so they had to include her, and they needed someone to balance her out. So because her powers came from the Mind Gem, it only made sense that they would include Vision. But that's the only reason they snuck in. Otherwise, they're almost like god-level powers. So Hulk and Thor had to ride the bench, meaning that with a Thor movie coming up, that was just the logical place to put Hulk. Because as Loki likes to say, in comparison to the people on Earth, they really are gods. So the Hulk versus gods is just a more interesting story than the Hulk versus a bunch of puny humans. If you've ever wondered what it looks like when he's filming scenes, this is pretty much it. Him in that mocap suit, it's kind of like a mocap suit he calls human canceling suit. It's basically because they delete the human once they computerize it, and then they add in the Hulk on top of that. So they basically swap him out for the Hulk whenever they're done. But because of their mocap technology, they capture his performance, his facial movements, and that's really important for conveying the emotions, what's going on in the Hulk's face, because the Hulk has to act too. He can't just be like this green CG monster just flying all over the place. But let me know what you guys think about him posting stuff from behind the scenes now. It seems like they're going to be doing this more and more. Like I talked about this in another video. Actors posting stuff from behind the scenes, they're doing it on Spider-Man Homecoming. It's actually pretty cool. And for me, it's much more interesting content. Showing us stuff from the movie is way more interesting than just telling us about it. Like, you could tell us that Hulk is going to be punching Asgardians, but when you take a look at one of these hands, him just miming the Hulk punch, so much more fun. So whatever they end up dropping from behind the scenes, it's going to take them a while to shoot the movie, so there'll be a lot more of this kind of stuff. So be sure to subscribe to get everything, and let me know if there's any specific Hulk or Thor videos that you guys want me to do when I do Ragnarok videos. I know some of you have been reading Marvel's Civil War. Hulk is a big part of that. I don't want to give away spoilers for that, but Amadeus Cho is the Hulk in the Marvel comics right now. Bruce Banner doesn't have powers. Part of the story of comic book Civil War is this big Bruce Banner arc that's supposed to come full circle. So because there's so much Thor Ragnarok Hulk stuff happening, I'll just talk about Marvel's Civil War stuff when I talk about Thor stuff. So get hype. They might talk a little about Thor Ragnarok at Comic-Con, but because they just started filming, I'm not expecting any of the actors to come. The funny thing is that Tom Hiddleston is supposed to be there for another movie, so don't assume that there won't be any Thor stuff. But they're mostly there to hype Doctor Strange, which is coming out in November, and Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I'll do a Guardians of the Galaxy video pretty soon too. I'll do a big Marvel preview that'll explain the stuff they're going to be dropping, because there will be a lot of footage, but James Gunn has made it sound like they're not going to release any of the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff publicly. So naturally, the internet is fish shaking, but I'll talk about that the next time I post a Guardians of the Galaxy video. While you guys wait for my next video to post, you can click here for the teaser for Kid Flash in the Flash Season 3. Wally West is actually going to get his Flash costume, and you can click here for my Spider-Man Homecoming teaser. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.